Julie, how did Mousical come about? How did it get to the stage?
My daughter, Emma Walton Hamilton, and I originally wrote the book about 6 years ago as a middle grade novel. We sent the book, the book is about, it's just a Valentine to Broadway theater, Broadway musicals. And we sent the book as a friendly gesture, really, to Michael Price and Bob Allwine at Goodspeed, just to give them a copy because they too are so passionate about theater. And within about 48 hours, the word came back that they would love to adapt it as a fully fledged musical.
So you had no intention that they would do that by just sending them a book?
No, it was just a gift to them. You love theater, we love theater, here's our latest book. That no solicitation on our part at all. And suddenly the word came back that they would like to acquire the rights. So at first it was like, I don't think this will work for theater. In the best of all possible worlds, maybe an animated film, but theater? I mean, the issues of perspective, and you know, it's about a troupe of performing mice who live beneath the boards of a great Broadway theater. How do we deal with that? But lo and behold, we now have this wonderfully witty musical for adults that's great music, great lyrics, and a wonderful book. So we're thrilled.
Are there thoughts that it would start here and go to Broadway, since it's sort of taking on a life of its own now?
Who knows where we'll go from here, and that's the joy of being here, Anne. Letting us play in this wonderful sandbox that is the Norma Terrace. We really hope that it will have a life, an afterlife, but this is where it all begins, and so we're waiting to see.
What kind of a director are you?
Are
you tough?
No, I'm not tough. I think meticulous would be the better word, but only about very special things: lyrics, pacing, emphasis of certain lines that help the book flow. I think, having worked in the theater myself, that I'm very aware of what it's like to be actually up and doing a show. I hope I'm very kind in that way, because there's so much that goes on in your heart. You don't know if you're right, you're nervous. The closer you get to opening night, you get very tight and tense.
Even after all these years?
For me, it gets worse every year. Yes, it does.
You just celebrated your 77th birthday, and I look at you as somebody who constantly reinvents. My question to you is, do you even have time to look back on the Emmys, on the Academy Award? You're so busy doing new things even at your age.
I don't think I mean, I count myself as supremely fortunate, but to look back and say, oh, I won an Emmy or an award of some kind.
That old Oscar.
No, as I say, how wonderful is that? But it's not like I dwell on it. And I love being busy. And I've worked my whole life. I was a child brat in the theater. And so it's so normal for me to just go on loving what I do. And these days, I so enjoy writing with my daughter. We just came out this week with one of our newest books. I'm delighted with. Poetry book, poetry anthology. And it is so lovely, and it's so stimulating, and we've got 5 more books out this year in the pipeline.
So you never stop?
We don't seem to, but it's, how lucky are we to do something we love so much?
Let me ask you about the theater and about Hollywood these days. Do you think people have the same work ethic of people of your generation?
That's a good question. I know the talent out there is tremendous. There's more talent than ever. I mean, in my generation, in my time, you were a dancer, you were a singer, you were an actor, and very seldom did they all come together. These days, everybody can do anything and extremely well.
So everybody's a triple threat?
Everybody's a triple threat, and it's wonderful. There's just so much talent there. I think people are more sensible these days. Broadway can be crippling you do a long run in a show that runs 8 performances a week, and I'm talking about a long run, you go into some kind of, well, you become a nun, I think, for a while. You do. There's very little playtime. You are on a long tunnel of discipline. And I think people these days are much more careful about how many shows they do and whether they need to conserve. They're more sensible, there's more talent. It's very hard to say.
When Mousical opens, are you inviting some of your old chums to show up and see this?
I have a hunch some of my old chums will come, but as to which ones, I'm not sure. I know a few that will come.
Past Mousical and the books, are there still more things to do?
Are you kidding? Of course.
I'm so glad you said that. Yeah. So what else is in the pipeline for you?
More books, of course, and strangely, more development of some of our books. We've got a wonderful little series called The Very Fairy Princess, which is 6 books this far, and it is simply lovely and beautifully illustrated. There's talk of the occasional film that goes across my desk.
Like?
I couldn't say, because right now I'm doing this and I haven't got anything lined up, but I do get scripts that come my way.
You still want to be on film?
Not as much, no, not as much. This is what I'm enjoying so much these days.
But if something crossed your desk that was just yummy on
then
film,
who could say no to yummy?
Right. What is happening in your personal life that at your age now, and when you look back at your life, that just makes you feel great?
Oh gosh, so much. My grandchildren, for a start. I have 8 and another one on the way, and 3 great-grandchildren. Oh heavens, just so much. I'm a very happy member of the board of the Los Angeles Philharmonic, and that's new for me. And to be part of a huge organization where the music is so glorious, that's a joy. I think I have a little more time to go to theater these days, and that's going to be a pleasure too. It's been a very busy 2 years for me, but now after this, I think, going to have a little time to play.
And I have to ask you this, and I'm sure you get tired of this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. My generation, my kids' generation, know you as Mary Poppins. Of course, The Sound of Music. When you look back on that, and maybe at the time you had no idea how that was going to be perceived for generations to come.
None, no.
Look what happened. Do you like the Mary Poppins? Do you like being associated with that? Or was that just,
yes.
a part of
how could you not like something that's given that much pleasure to so many people, including myself? I mean, the movies were lovely and iconic, and they've sort of been bookended now. I mean, today's children remember me more for The Princess Diaries than they do for Poppins, and those are kind of wonderful bookends in a way for me.
You've been able to transcend those decades. Not a lot of people can do that, even as popular as you were and are. And you're still as popular. People still want to talk to you. I saw you on the Today Show the other day talking with your daughter. People want to get in your presence, and why is that?
Beats me. I'm just so grateful that they do. I think that probably, I think if you've lived long enough and you are fortunate enough to just keep enjoying this best of all possible worlds, people want to tune in and see what you might know or how you feel about it. I really don't know. I just know that I'm very grateful.
Julie Andrews, thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Anna.
Can't wait to see Mousical.
Well, please come see us. You're going to have such a ball, really. It is charming. And I honestly say that with as much surprise and delight as I mean, I really mean it. You'll come and have a great time, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.